in the picture book world, the publisher wants the writer to write, and the publisher will be in charge of finding the illustrator. And that's how it goes, unless one is Robert Munch and Robert Marchenko or other pairs, so that the writer knows that this will be the illustrator. I've mostly worked in that way, although with smaller publishers, sometimes the publisher will ask, do you have an illustrator in mind? The last book, the most recent book, Dreamtime, I had an illustrator in mind, someone who's my cousin, and the Acorn Press publisher, who's wonderful, Terry Lee Bolger, didn't want those illustrations, and found a young illustrator from Charlottetown, and this person, I didn't have much to say, except at the stage where the illustrations were all done. There was one illustration that I absolutely hated. The mother and father of the child in one of the images. The mother had what I called a rictus, this grin that looked so scary and horrendous. I hated it. Well, I wouldn't have said that to the illustrator. I said that to the publisher. And the designer, and she saw what I meant, and I really didn't like that illustration. It looked like a Hollywood blonde and this big toothy grin, and not at all in keeping with a bedtime story. And also the characters that this illustrator made were all white, whereas my cousin's illustration, the children were all different colors. And so the publisher got her designer to calm that mouth. The illustrator was too busy. She lovely young person, but she did them and she didn't want to touch them. So the designer fixed that grin as best he could, and so it went ahead, and it's fine. Nobody but me cares, I guess. But then the Australian publisher for Dreamtime, I gave him the choice. You can use the Acorn Press illustrator or these. And he very much preferred the others, which were by Cicely Donnelly, my cousin. And so the Australian edition has the illustrations that I would have chosen. And I'm so happy about that. The new book, The Born, A Foal, Five Kittens, and Confederation, at the 1864 book, I was asked which illustrator I would like to work with, and I suggested Brenda Jones, The Lobster in My Pocket, because I like her illustrations so much, and she's dear, and I like working with her. And we've worked together. There were some illustrations that she's changed because they didn't suit me, but she's not a horse person and I am. So if she drew if she drew a horse out of the proportion for that particular breed, I knew that. So she was happy to work together, and that's so much fun. It's just plain fun.